chat. Let's start the show.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Happy Hour Show. I am so glad that you could tune in wherever you are in the world, whether you're watching with your eyes or you're listening with your ears. Welcome to the Happy Hour Show. I am excited for tonight's guest because she's going to bring the spice. She's going to bring the razzle dazzle. You know I love the razzle dazzle. I'm going to introduce her in a second. But first, let's take care of some things because if you are new to the show, I need you to know what this show is all about. And that is you, your personal development, okay? So we talk about spiritual things, emotional things, financial things, professional things, all the things to help you grow personally, whatever that looks like for you. So, with that said, make sure you comment, love, share this video out, all right? Comment, love, share, because if you're catching some nuggets, then there's definitely people in your life that's going to need these nuggets as well. And if you're watching live right now, make sure you comment all the way live in the comments. And if you're catching the replay later on, that's all right. Just comment replay all day. We still love you, boo, okay? And then get this, if you want to stay updated on all things Happy Hour Show, then you got to make sure that you sign up for Happy Hour updates on the VIP list. Just go to bit.ly/happy updates. And that's where you can stay up to date on bonus episodes, because sometimes we have them on Thursdays instead of Tuesdays. Sometimes our guests give special happy hour specials, but only if you're on the VIP list. So make sure you sign up for updates at bit.ly/happy updates. Okay. Now, if you're like, who is this crazy lady on my screen? Let me introduce myself, and then we're going to introduce tonight's guest. My name is Lindsey Vertner, and I'm an international award-winning personal development coach. All right. I'm a peak potential strategist. I help you in your peak, get there. Y'all, I'm being silly today. So I help you to master your mindset so that you can increase your clarity, confidence, connections, and your cash flow. Okay, that is my jam. I was able to do it for myself after fully recovering from a car wreck that left me brain dead and paralyzed in 2007. And I've helped women all around the world to create their first class life today and all them other days. And so, anywho, let me introduce our tonight's guest, okay? Because ever since I met her, listen, I just love her to pieces, all right? And I know you're going to love her too. So without further ado, tonight's guest is your friendly virtual neighborhood marketing genie by the name of Ashleigh Chanel. And she's here to help you make all of your marketing dreams come true, okay? Because she is a marketing and brand strategist. She loves to travel the world, and she's a gadgets addict. That was almost a tongue twister. A gadgets addict and an expert digital marketer. She's also the CEO of Make Your Mark Digital Marketing Agency. She's passionate about helping women business owners to market profitably through innovation, creativity, action, and implementing strategic digital media strategies that transform their business. So listen, she's just amazing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring her on here to the Happy Hour Show.
Hey! I love a little razzle dazzle too, okay?
Yes, I know you do.
Yes.
Listen, I know that tonight's show is going to be so good because I'm all about the razzle dazzle. You all about the razzle dazzle, and we about to razzle dazzle all over the viewers, okay?
All over.
Yes, yes. So I know I just very, very quickly went through like what you do and all those things. But before we talk about how you serve the world as amazingly as you do, tell us like who is Ashleigh Chanel? Like, give us the good tea. Take us back into time.
Oh my goodness. I can definitely do that. I can talk about myself. So I, you know, I believe that I'm put on this earth to erect a generation of women who unapologetically step into their power, because I remember when I was not stepping into my power, and ooh, that was an awful time. And sometimes we have a little backtrackish, but I think when it comes to, I love self-improvement. I love trying to make sure that I am, getting to my optimal self, but I also know that we ebb and flow within that. But I truly believe that women are the most amazing beings on this planet. I believe that when you have strong women, they raise strong children who build strong communities. And I just think that we are amazing. Okay. So yeah. And I do love gadgets and I love to travel. I've been to 35 countries and counting. Look. Let's go.
Ow. Do you have one of these? Wait, let me go this way. One of these?
I don't have one of those, but I do want to find one is that the one that you can scratch off or?
Yes. So they
Okay.
have colorful ones, and then this is like probably one of my favorite things because I'm always so excited. Which I haven't scratched off DR. But yes, it's a travel map, and you can scratch it off. So you can scratch off. There we go. You can scratch off on the actual country, and then you also scratch off the flag down at the bottom.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I just haven't been to Antarctica and Australia, but I think I've been to all the other continents. There's
Mm-hmm.
how many?
You better get it. Okay, travel addict. Yes, listen, when you're living your first class life, you are seeing the world, okay? Because the world is so much bigger than your circle and your
Yeah.
community. And
And
so,
I love to get understanding and hear people's stories, because like the quote, "We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike," really resonates with me because of travel, because I know that all moms across the globe want the same thing. All people across the globe want the same thing. And I've been able, like, I was living in Italy when I think it was Lebanon and Egypt were being bombed. And
mm,
like Rome could have been a target. Well, that's what they said. But it was just like, it gives me so much perspective. Like for
mhm.
me, the pandemic, I knew that things could have been worse because I also have friends who still live in Italy. And I was like, look, I'm just going to be real content in my house. We got air conditioning, we have food, we're good. We'll be okay.
Yes, yes. And I think that's one of the great things about traveling is because it does open your eyes to so much more. Like we often feel like what we live in is what everybody is dealing with, but it's so much bigger. And you also get to see what media doesn't show you because we know the media likes to be stereotypical and one-sided,
It does.
but you get to other places and it's like, oh, it's nothing like they showed you. And so, what started your love for travel? Like, did that start from a childhood? Did you travel a lot with your parents, or how did you get into loving travel?
Okay, so I think it's a couple things. The first thing is my mother. So she was a director and VP level in HR when I was growing up. And she went on a whole bunch of business trips. And I didn't get to go though. Okay. I didn't get to go on any. She did take me to San Diego with her, but it's fine. And I was 14 when I went to San Diego, and I was just like, this place is full of retired people, but it was the place we were staying at. It was like this resort, I don't know, whatever. But now I love San Diego. I think it's a beautiful place. But she just went everywhere. She went to India and would just tell me all of these stories, and it just seemed so awesome. But then I did a post bachelorette program, study abroad program. So I was done with my undergrad degrees. Okay. But one of my friends who also was done, she was like, "Hey, I'm going to Italy. I think you should come. I think you'd have a great time." And I asked my mom, and very, very fortunate that she said yes. Cause I thought, I was like, this sounds expensive. Oh my gosh. And I had never asked my mom to go out of the country. And had I been out of the country by that point? I don't think so. I don't think so. But no, yeah, I don't think I had been out of the country before I had graduated college. And she said yes. And so I was in Italy for 5 weeks and I was like, oh my gosh, the are you this could be my life. The fact that these people live for life, love, and family. You mean that I don't have to grow up, get a job, get married, have kids, and die? You mean that does not have to be my life? So while I was in Italy for 5 weeks with people that I didn't know, like we just kind of traveled around Italy and I was like, oh, this is awesome. So the fact that it showed me that I had options, I was like, bet. And then I ended up going to that same school that we stayed in for my MBA. So I got my MBA in Italy. And then from that point on, I traveled to 17 countries during my MBA. And then after that, it was a wrap. It was a wrap just because it was so easy and cheap to travel. While you were in Italy, like, because it was like $30 to go to Greece round trip. So
listen, there's something that you mentioned that I definitely want to make sure I point out for the viewers and listeners because it happens a lot in society, especially as women, and then even more so as women of color. We feel like we have to settle for what society says that we are to be. We have to be a housewife, or we have to be a mom, or if you have a career, you can't have a family, or you are only limited to doing this type of job or that type of job. You are limited to cooking and cleaning and blah blah blah, all the limits that society places upon us. And then you go someplace else and you see, oh, things are really different. But I think what's unique, well, similar with everybody around the world, not just here in the States, is that there's always expectations of society and other people that are placed up on us. And so, what would you say is one of those expectations that you were really able to just free yourself from? I know you mentioned about like, oh, wait, I don't have to slave at work all day.
There were actually a couple things. When I worked in corporate, my boss was like, number one, I've had an office at every job I ever had. So that was something that was interesting to me because I was like, I'm so young and I didn't know anybody who was that young who actually had offices. And that was very interesting to me. Like I thought I had to be in corporate for like 30 years before I could get an office and ugh. And but another thing was my boss was amazing. So it showed me that bosses could be great if you get the right one, but you also have to interview your boss. And she was like, well, I had a few that were great, but she was like, I don't care where you are as long as you get your work done. That contributed to the 35 countries because I was like, bet, say less. You don't have to tell me twice. I was gone for 6 months out of the year traveling and working because I was like, you don't care where I am as long as I get my work done. Oh my gosh, this is great. But I mean, honestly, like the things that I was just like, I don't think that this has to be true was when I was living in Italy, I just saw that life could be different, that you could, because I actually, during my MBA, I was taking on clients as well. And I was like, oh, snap. So you're telling me that I can live outside of the country in this beautiful place, live in Italy and, like lay on the beach, have my cheeks out in Positano and just like live my best life and have clients. You mean that I don't have to go back to the United States where it's all about the rat race and everything like that? And you mean to tell me that I have options? And that was something that was huge for me to see. But it was really interesting. When I came back from my MBA, so many people were like, oh, well, now you have to come back to the real world. And I was like, so just because you have to live that life, you're happy, but I can no longer live my best life. And because that life looked too exciting for you, that wasn't reality. You chose where you are. And I understand because after that, I went to corporate again and I was there for a few years. And I realized I was like, because I saw that I had options, I was like, everything I did in corporate was a step towards me being able to leave and live my best life. Because I was like, I realized there are other people out here on yachts. There are other people out here, and that is reality for them. So I was like, I refuse to allow someone else's at that time didn't know what they were called, but limiting beliefs and fears and everything like that. Like, how dare you project that on me? Get your limiting beliefs off of me.
Yes, listen, and I want us to dive deeper into that in just a second. I love that you pointed out like you chose where you are in life. But let me pause because I just wanted to jump on it right then, right then. If you are just tuning in, you are watching the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner. That is me, and the very, very gorgeous Ashleigh Chanel right here. Oh yes. And listen, I forgot to give this warning at the top of the show, but excuse me, the book of face, flip that around, is tripping right now. So I know that a lot of you are used to watching live on Facebook, but I just said it. But they're having some issues. I worked diligently about 30 minutes trying to get it all corrected before the show started, but it still didn't start. So hopefully you have tuned in live over on LinkedIn or on YouTube, or you're going to catch the replay later on. But to all of those that like to tune in live on Facebook, please, I'm sorry. I tried. Okay, I'm sorry. So meanwhile, before we hop back into this discussion, I think that this would be a great time to play a little game.
What's in your cup?
Oh, yeah. If you're new to the show, this is the part where we find out what's in your cup. So our guest is going to share what she's sipping on, give us a little cupcake. I'm going to share what I'm sipping on. And if you are tuning in wherever you are, put in the comments what is in your cup as well, okay? Because we like to swap recipes here on the Happy Hour Show. So if you got something good, we need to know about it. So, Miss lovely Ashleigh Chanel, what's in your cup?
Yes. Okay. This is my favorite drink on the planet. I learned about it while I was traveling to Brazil. This is called a caipirinha. Okay.
Oh,
This, my dears, this will get you where you need to be on time. Okay. Minimal liquids, because when I partake in libations, I don't like to have a full stomach. Like, I don't like to drink a lot of liquids. And so what is in here? There are three ingredients. Yes. It's lime, so two limes, like actual
like
whole limes.
you put the whole lime, you just chop it up, throw it in there.
You slice it. You can slice it into slices, like 4 slices, or you can slice it into 8 like diced slices. And then you squeeze them in, and then you pour, if you have it, today I did not have it, but if you have it, raw sugar, okay, about, I'm gonna say a tablespoon of raw sugar, and then you muddle, meaning like you smash all the stuff inside. Like, you squeeze it first and you smash it all together. Then what you're going to do, my dears, is you are going to get yourself some cachaça. It is liquor made from, what is it called? Oh my goodness, sugarcane. Okay. You put about cachaça. It's is it CHAC with the little beard at the bottom? I think that's no, CACHAC. Look, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But yeah, so you put 2 ounces of that in here, and then you shake it up, and then you've got this beautiful, it kind of reminds people of a mojito, but it doesn't have mint in it. It doesn't taste like a mojito. It tastes like a caipirinha, and it's the best drink ever.
Listen, I need you to say it again because it sounds so fancy and I ain't never heard of it. Caipirinha. Did I say it right?
You did.
Because I'm cultured. I'm fancy.
Yes.
Got it on the first try.
Yes, caipirinha. Yes. And I try to get these out, like out and about when I go to restaurants and stuff, and I'm like, they don't know how to make it right. They don't. So I either make it myself or I go to Brazil.
Listen, Listen, I like that. Make it myself or go to Brazil. That's a first class life right there. Okay. And I need for all the viewers and listeners, if you are sitting at home like, I can't afford to go to Brazil, as long as you're saying that, then you won't be able to. So I need you to change your words to, oh, I absolutely can't afford to go to Brazil if I choose to. Okay. Believe it. And then for all my other viewers and listeners that is like, okay, let me add Brazil to my next list of destination. Okay. Caipirinha. Was that right?
Caipirinha.
Caipirinha.
Because I don't bring home souvenirs. Okay. So you need to come on with me. All right.
Yes, I love it. Look, and y'all can screenshot the screen for my version of the recipe.
No, look, let me get it for you. You are not about to have them up here looking for cachausa, and it's not real. Oh my goodness, that is so funny.
Listen, I figured they would figure it out. Go back and listen to the replay. Listen to how to say it, and then put on your Google and be like, "Hey Siri, hey Google."
That is so funny.
How do you spell cachausa, or what is cachausa, or whatever? Where do you buy cachausa?
There is no Brazil. Here. Look, here we go. It is. Okay. It looks like cachaca, but if you have the little C with the beard, it's cachaça.
Okay. Oh, see, look, y'all's learning something. You're learning something on today. When you have the C with the beard, you know, the little fancy curly Q, that one, right?
Yes.
It's pronounced "sa." So cachaça. Let me fix this for y'all so y'all don't be like. But hey, it was nice while it lasted. Hold on. I'm gonna get y'all right. Here. There. Tune in. Cachaça!
Yes, there we go. Yes, that's it. Okay.
Okay, over here in my cup, I am sipping on some spiked lemonade, okay? And then here is my cup that I have today because it was still left over from lunch. And so, you know, dishes and things. So can y'all guess I'm trying not to show it here. There we go. The taste that brings you back. Can y'all guess where this is from? I'm covering up the bottom. So FYI, I don't think you can get spiked drinks at this restaurant, but once you get home, you can throw in some rum in there. So let's get back into this conversation because, listen, we can swap recipes all day, okay? But we were just starting to talk about limiting beliefs. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner. That's myself and the very beautiful Ashleigh Chanel. She is your genie, okay? She's your marketing genie. She's going to help you get your life together with your business and all of that good stuff. So we were just talking about limiting beliefs and all of the things that comes with that. So I want to say this to everybody. We all have limiting beliefs. Every single last person on this earth has limiting beliefs. You know, we have the beliefs that were placed upon us from our caregivers, and then through our experiences, they just further shape those in one way or another. But we all have them, so don't feel bad. # no judgment zone. And so you mentioned how you got back, and there were people that were essentially happy that you were back in what they called reality. And I love that you mentioned, wait, just because it's not your reality, that means it can't be my reality. Talk about that a little bit more, because too many times, child, too many times.
Look, this was before I knew about limiting beliefs. This was before I was unapologetically stepping into my power, and I did not want to leave the house because people were always asking me what's next, because some of them were excited. They were like, what's next, and I'm like, I have no clue. I don't know what's next. I just got back. Like, this is a culture shock, y'all, where I was drinking wine. Like, the best wine was their house wine for €3 a liter. Okay, I was eating pizza and pasta and had lost weight. So there was a culture shock coming back, and I did not know what I was going to do. I got my MBA because I was like, I was making, I think 28, they were paying marketers $28,000 to $32,000 a year when I got out of college. And I was like, So you mean to tell me I have to be here for 30 to 40 years to get $60,000? I was like, oh, you got me messed up. Okay. So I had to go get my MBA because nobody respected marketers at the time. But it was really, really crazy. And it was just really, really fascinating just to see how many people subscribe to what society said. And like, obviously I subscribe to it too, but I also subscribe to the fact that I was going to be VP of L'Oreal in my 30s. Okay. And had I stayed in corporate, that was the track that I was going to take. I don't want that now, obviously, but I mean, I still love to work with L'Oreal, so hit me up, y'all. But it's just like one of the things that I'm currently doing in my life is shedding all of the things about society that I don't agree with. All of the things that society put on me to keep me and keep people in boxes. I mean, we've got, the colonizing, we've got the womanizing, we've got the, like, if a woman wants a man who makes money, she's a gold digger. Why does that make her a gold digger? Why does that not mean that she has standards and she has a life that she wants to live, especially for Black women? I feel like Black women who have standards and who look for men who can protect and provide for them, they're looked at as like less than because they're gold diggers. But I'm like, as a man, do you not subscribe to the thought that you should be able to provide, and you don't want to get married until you have enough money to provide for her? So why should she wait for you 20 years to get your S together when she can find a man who's already a millionaire, and so he can put her on? Like, none of it makes sense to me. So I'm like, F that. I'm about to do what feels good to me, what I want to do, and what I think is, because I'm a Taurus. I love beautiful things and I love comfort. And beautiful things and comfort cost money unless you go outside. You go outside to look at nature. But it depends on where you are. You might have to drive there. That takes gas money. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I am going to do all of the things that make me happy. I'm going to get a nanny when I have children. I'm going to make sure I can afford that. I'm going to, get my massages weekly or bi-weekly, depending on how you know what I'm saying? It's just like, none of this stuff, all of this stuff was made up that you can and can't do. And I'm like, F what society says. They don't know me. They don't know you. What is it that you want? You can get a private chef if you want one. And they don't actually cost as much as people think they do. So I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of like, F what society says, F society, and live your best life.
Absolutely, because we really have to be mindful of what are the thoughts and expectations that other people have placed upon us that we have now personalized and consumed to be our own. And we have to evaluate, what is it that I truly want? Excuse me, because there are a lot of people out there that are unhappy in life. They're unfulfilled in life because that's why you're trying to be all the things for all the people. You're trying to live up to the expectations of your mom, your dad, your spouse, your supervisor, your community, or all these other people that aren't you. The only people that we should be listening to is ourselves and who God called us to be.
Exactly.
That's where we need to be. All right, God,
Right.
Who you want me to be in this lifetime of mine? Who you want me to be in this season? And then He's going to lead you where you need to be, right? And
like,
then
how
you
can I walk in my purpose?
Yes, what do I like to do? Because there's 9 times out of 10, the things that you like to do, the things that come easy to you, it's going to line up with wherever God's leading you anyway. And we have to be mindful of that and not subscribe to all the expectations of all the other people. And, you mentioned about nannies and personal chefs. Like, if I had it back when my babies was little, I definitely would have had a nanny. Shoot, still sometimes now, well, they're almost to the age where they start to be by themselves. Yeah. But it's like, oh, I need to retire my mama so she could just like
exactly. And like, but there's nothing wrong with that. Only in America, and this is what I learned through travel. Only in America is help seen as weakness. And every other country I have visited, middle class, and I'm talking from Latin America to Europe to the Asian continent, Middle class have nannies and maids. They have people taking care of their children that they pay. Also, the whole "it takes a village" is a real thing. Why is it
Mhm.
seen as bad when you need somebody to help you raise your kids? Because I don't know about you, but I was doing some domestic stuff earlier this week and I was tired. I was laundrying, I was cleaning, I was, you know, fixing things, organ, and I was like, I don't enjoy this. This is not fun. My back hurts. I need to lay down after 15 minutes of this. But it was like a few days in a row. And I was just like, this is lame. And then I
Yeah.
went to drop some stuff off at Dress for Success. And I was like, I feel like I could have paid somebody maybe like $50 to go do this and bring me back the receipt. But it's about, I value me. I value the things that I can do. And you know what's interesting is that I learned that I minimize my accomplishments and the things that I did and
Mhm.
do. And I learned that from everyone else. Like, you know,
Mhm.
when you're introduced, you know, God says you are affirmed then, right? And when you're born, before you were in, you know, when you were in the room, he knew you and approved you. But it's when I got here in high school, I used to wear heels to school every day because I loved heels, and like it was easy for me. For 15 years straight, I wore heels, I think, every day. I did not own a pair of sneakers except for to go to the gym, but that was the only time I wore them. And people thought I was weird. Um, I giggle a lot, and people thought that was weird. And I was just like, everything I do is very extra, and everything and because it's so extra, people either gravitated towards it, but they also gravitated towards it and said something about it because they couldn't feel that they couldn't be who they were. And
Mhm.
so slowly but surely, I started minimizing myself and not being as much. And
Mhm.
I'm just now coming out of that. I'm realizing that I'm amazing. People people hire me because of me. They don't hire me because of my credentials, which are important, but it's just, yeah, like I just learned so much and I was like, wow, the world sucks sometimes. Golly.
Yes, I get it. I get it. I can remember back when I was younger, like minimizing my smarts sometimes
Mhm.
because I didn't want to be called nerd and things like that. But school was easy for me back then, and I was in advanced classes and in gifted and talented,
Yeah,
and
me
but
too.
there were times where I kind of just played the like that kind
Yes.
of, I don't want to say dumb because I definitely didn't act dumb, but I definitely didn't like
Show how
showcase.
intelligent you
Like,
were.
I like to read. I used to could read a book in a day. I like crossword puzzles. Like, I would gladly say all that stuff now. Like, I got
I
crossword, like
know.
all kinds of crossword apps on my phone.
I'll call myself a nerd. I am.
Yes, yes. And so I want the viewers and listeners to definitely understand that it's important to be who you are authentically, boldly, walk in that, flaws and all. And if you don't know who you are, then that's when it's time to, like, quiet your surroundings and go on that journey to begin to identify who it is that you are. So, what is some advice that you would give to a person who is like, yeah, that sounds nice and all, but I don't even know what I like. I don't even know what I want to do. I don't even know who I am anymore.
I would say look around. If you are on Instagram, I follow people who dance. I follow home improvement things. I watch HGTV. Like, this is my reduce everyday mug. I got it. It's huge. It's 40 ounces, but I need to drink water. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to continue to consume plastic. Let me get something cute that makes me want, like, what is it that you naturally feel yourself gravitating to? You might have to ditch your friends in order to find this out,
Mhm.
because people are going to think you're weird. Some people would be like, Ashleigh, you don't need that big old thing. And it does not fit in any cup holders in any car I've been in yet. And I just have to strap it into the seatbelt. But I've learned, like, people love me and they love me for a reason. And people love you and they love you for a reason. And sometimes you have to curate the people around you, right? Like, sometimes not everybody's going to get it, not everybody's going to get you, and a lot of it has to do with because they don't understand themselves and value themselves. But I would just say, what is it that you truly like gravitate to, like that maybe you don't do because people have said something to you about it? Go do that, and maybe go do it by yourself, because being by yourself is not weird. Like eating at restaurants by yourself is not weird. Like I don't know why people are so scared to do that, but again, that's just me because I don't understand it. But that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with being scared to go eat by yourself. See, like that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Like you are the only one who has to feel good about what you're doing and who you're around. And even back to what we were talking about before, I remember one time my mom was like, because I had a boyfriend in 10th grade who, I've heard this meme that said, if it happened before I was 30, you were a childhood friend. And that's what we're going to call him right now.
Listen, I'm going to have to agree. I'm going to have to agree and disagree at the same time, because my husband came along before I was 30.
Oh, no, mine too. But but the rest of them.
We have to, like, if it happened before college.
Like, the rest of them, okay, childhood friend. And he was like he was very intelligent, or he's very intelligent. But he was someone who wanted you to know how smart he was. I was just rolling my eyes because I was like, bruh, it's not that serious. And my mom was like, well, because I will never forget this. We were arguing about alligators being saltwater, because there are some of them that there's like a place, I forgot what it's called, but where saltwater and freshwater mix, and like they live in that. And he was arguing me down, and I was like, first of all, I watch Discovery Channel and Animal Planet, so don't do me, all right? But I asked my mom, and she was like, well, sometimes you just have to let guys be right. And I was like, see, I don't like that. I don't like that. I was like, why do I have to dim my light because he doesn't know about saltwater alligators? You know what I'm saying? So, but I have an amazing man right now who my intelligence turns him on, and I love that. I mean, not TMI, but it's just like he loves that I'm intelligent.
We grown on the happy hour.
He loves it. He's like, I'm not stupid. He loves that. He loves even hearing me talk business. Like he just thinks it's very attractive. So y'all, there is somebody who is going to love your weird, who is going to love yourself for who you are and how you are. Okay. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be the girl who wears heels or the guy who is, opening doors. Maybe there's some girls who don't care. It's cool. I care. You know what I'm saying? But there's always there's somebody for you, but you just have to be bold enough and courageous enough to take action, because at the end of the day, rarely do any of the things that we want to do in life take confidence. They take courage.
I love that. That reminds me, a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, but we were in our front room, and I was sitting on the couch. My daughter and my son, they were also in the room, and I don't remember what was playing on TV, but they bicker like siblings back and forth. And my daughter thought something was hilarious, and she cracked up. And my son goes, it wasn't that funny.
She's me. I am her.
And then my daughter, she, without even looking at him, kept like, because she was doing something in the floor with her hands and like listening to TV. Without even looking at him, she said, last I checked, my brain works just fine. Thank you. She started laughing again, and I tried so hard not to react, but in my head, I'm thinking, yes,
go girl,
energy as you get older, because people are going to try to change you, and they're going to try to mold you into who they want you to be. And I feel like that's been the theme of this whole episode, is that you have to be yourself and live for you and not other people.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, and there is peace in that. Like, there's peace in living for yourself and doing the things that make you happy. Like, I posted on Instagram the other day, and I had gone a long time without getting myself flowers because I love to arrange flowers. And I post these things, and I'm like, girl, are you about to open a flower shop? Why do you have so many vases? Why did you buy so many flowers? And I had a basket full because they were having a sale, and I hadn't bought myself, and I just went overboard. And it just reminded me, Ashleigh, Stop going so long in between every week. Do this. Go buy your flowers so that you can arrange them, because I enjoy arranging flowers. And some people are like, why? How do you know how to do this? Or why do you do that? And why do you spend your money? They're just going to die. And I have been told that many, many times. And I'm like, well, people die daily too. Okay. But do we not try to help them bloom? Do we not water them? Do we not, rally around them to tell them how beautiful they are? Like, don't do me, okay?
Don't do my boo Ashleigh Chanel.
Oh my gosh. Like, they make me happy. So why does it matter? Just enjoy my happiness. You don't have to worry about the flowers dying. I love it when my man brings me flowers. I think because it's about the effort. But like, there are things like you have to know yourself. You really have to know yourself and be comfortable in that. I giggle at things that are not funny to anybody, but I choose joy. Okay.
Listen, I'm the same way. Like, I could probably laugh with any emotion. Like, the only time you need to be scared is whenever I'm laughing, like, at that anger point, which I don't get there often, hardly ever these days. But back in my old thug Lindsey days, I maybe got a little more angry. I was still happy, but you could push my buttons a little bit easier. But as I grew, as I bloomed on my personal journey, it's very hard to get me truly angry because I control my emotions and I'm the one that makes me happy. And you can't make me angry unless I allow myself to become angry at whatever it is that you're doing.
Right.
And I forgot why I even started talking about that.
That takes work. That takes effort.
Yes, it does take
because
a lot
it's
of
a choice.
Being self-aware of all of that stuff. Oh, we were talking about laughing because I will laugh even when I'm angry. That's when you need to be scared, is if I'm laughing while I'm angry. But it's like, you don't want to seem insensitive because sometimes there's maybe it's here on my I was like, what is on? Because I can laugh even whenever it maybe seems like it's not the time for laughter, but it's not necessarily like I'm laughing at the situation or anything like that. Because I can also know how to reel it in when I need to be like serious, but for the most part, I choose joy, like you said, and it's very important that each and every day we wake up and choose joy. And sometimes you have to do that multiple times throughout the day, especially if someone is working your last nerve.
Especially in America. This place is like awful at the moment. It feels like with the Trump stuff, with the racist stuff, and this is bad, but I understand where I'm coming from. Another Black person was killed. And I was just like, at this point, it's comical. Like, it's not funny by any means at all, but it's like, this can't really be happening. Like, I must be in some type of simulation. Like, what the heck? And because it's so disheartening to have to see that on a regular basis, it's like you start to build these walls around your heart and your emotions to help you cope. And that's I don't laugh in front of people about it, and I don't laugh like, haha, this is funny, but I'm like,
I get you.
So I understand about your laughing, and like, yes, if I get to the point and it's a bad situation and I'm laughing, somebody better watch out because I do own a firearm. Okay.
If you are just tuning in, you're watching the Happy Hour Show with myself, Lindsey Vertner, and our lovely guest, Miss Ashleigh Chanel. She is your ad strategist and marketing genie. All right. So make sure you connect with her at makeyourmarkconsulting.com. You can find her on Instagram at Ashleigh Chanel, and that's Ashleigh, ASHLEIGH.
The girl
CHANEL. Okay, so for all my audio listeners, there you go. Make sure you go back to YouTube and screenshot the screen in case you're like, what, Lindsey? What? You'll get it. She spells it fancy. Ashleigh.
It's the girl spelling of Ashley. Ley is the boy spelling. It's a British name. So look,
I never knew that. See, learn something new every day.
Yes.
Every day. Look, over here in the comments, LB says firearm on deck. Yes. Listen,
But
LB.
I'm not gonna use it. Look, I know better. What is happening with my? There we go. There I am.
Listen, LB. Okay, I'm still working on that one. I am still working, but I will fight like my life depended on it if I needed to. But I don't want to do that. Okay, too
Right,
much.
let's not go there. We're too cute. We have private jets to get on. We have yachts to be on. Okay, I've got the Grand Prix to go to. I need to find some connects. You know what I'm saying? So it's just let's not even go there. Let's not be around people but sometimes you find yourself in situations that you have to laugh at.
Oh goodness, Michelle says, you beautiful ladies are hilarious. Listen, we're all about bringing the joy, and that's why I knew y'all was gonna love the lovely Ashleigh Chanel, because she is all about the joy, just as much as hold on y'all, because my dehumidifier done kicked on and I feel like it's so noisy right now. One second. Talk to him, Ashleigh. Give him some advice.
I see.
Look, this is a silly show tonight, but y'all love it, okay? Y'all love it. Y'all is laughing with us. Here, give them some advice on being themselves authentically.
Okay, being yourself authentically. Let's see. What can I tell you about? Like, look, I think this needs to. There we go. I am back in focus. Okay, so I just feel like when okay, I would say take some assessments, meaning like the Colby assessment was something that really helped me. And also the DISC assessment and then Myers-Briggs. I love personality tests because like, I'm like, yes, that is true. And then to me, it helps you realize that there's nothing wrong with you. Your brain just works different. You know, like for me, I love to be comfortable and I like things that are soft and I like things that are beautiful. Some people do not care about the aesthetics of things. I care. I'm going to buy based off packaging. If your packaging is trash, I'm probably not going to buy it. I enjoy things like my what is this thing called? My mic is so extra, y'all. Like, look at this. Wait, where's the camera? Like, this is so extra. Like, why? Okay, now see, I'm breaking stuff and I don't. Okay, look.
What is that even connected to that you're like swooping it around? So here's mine right here. You know, but you're like swinging yours. Like, what is that connected?
You know, it's the arm. Like, usually they're attached to the desk on the bottom, but because my desk is weird and like on the sides, I don't have a ledge to attach it to. I had to attach it up above on my desk, and I had to bring it down so that I could. But like, it has a light on it. It's so extra. It's so large, and this is the only mic stand or mic arm that would hold it because my mic is so heavy. I didn't realize there was a mic weight limit for just because being extra is just me. And then I got the lights in the background. But you know, like these things make me happy. I have a 35-pound weighted blanket from Gravity. I didn't have to get it from there, but I researched a lot because I wanted a really nice one. So it's just like, be you. And there are people who are going to be like, Ashleigh, that is so expensive. Why would you? Look, it makes me happy. I can't take it with me. Can I enjoy it while I'm here? Like, go do something that makes you happy. Like, these people out here, like, they need to find some business. That's like just really how I feel. Like, go find a hobby, go find something that makes you happy, because this whole watching everybody else live their life is really lame. Because like, I'll find myself doing that on Instagram and I'm like, then I start feeling bad about something. I'm like, why am I not traveling? Like,
yes, comparison is the enemy of joy.
It is. And I go
that pays us.
Yeah, okay, straight up. Because I went to Mexico last year, and that was the first time in about a year or 2 years almost since my mom had a stroke. And no, it was a year. And I hadn't been anywhere because typically your girl is gone, like gone. And like she's gone for weeks or months at a time. So the fact that I wasn't able to do that, and some people think travel is frivolous, but I'm a traveler. I don't consider myself a vacationer. I will vacation sometimes, but to me, traveling is being able to go someplace and understand the culture and inundate yourself with the things that they are going through and understanding in their food and their culture
Mhm.
and just like their lives, and talking to them and hearing their stories. And that really fills me. And my mom, Adrian, they know that that fills me and it's not frivolous. But some
Mhm.
people might think travel is frivolous, but for someone who it fills their soul to do, it's not frivolous. So whatever it is that fills
Mhm.
your soul and it doesn't hurt anybody and doesn't really hurt you, like, let's do it
Let
together.
it go. Mind your business, okay? Mind your business.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think as far as that and like self-development and just you just have to figure out what you're good at, what makes you happy, and go do that. Because this life,
Mhm.
like these people out here, because when you said people are out here miserable, that's one of the reasons I left my job, because I looked around at everybody at work. I went to the grocery store, I looked around, I made it a point to pay attention, and I was like, y'all look miserable. Y'all look like y'all don't like y'all's lives. And I was like,
Mhm.
I don't want to be that. I don't want to embody that, because y'all look like, and that being miserable makes you age faster. Ew. I'm trying to look
Yes,
like Angela
yes,
Bassett
it
when
does.
I'm like 50, 60, okay?
And we won't even get into all the science and biology of all the things that just living in misery and living unfulfilled actually does. Um, listen, because I could talk to y'all about that, but we getting close to the hour, so I'm gonna save it for another day. Just follow me; I'll talk about it at some point, okay? But it's so important because it does take a toll on our emotional health, on our mental health, and that stuff overflows into our physical health. And we're getting these headaches, or we're having weight fluctuations, or we're having trouble sleeping, either going to sleep or staying asleep or something like that, and we attribute it to something else when really it's those deeper inner things that we aren't dealing with. It's trying to be somebody that we're not every single day. That gets exhausting. It's living with stress all the time. It's living with the weight of the world on us all the time that actually contributes to all of those things. And we don't know that. Why? Because we don't study it. And so it's so important that we are mindful of not only our mindsets and our thoughts and our words and everything, but being who we are authentically. So this has been just a great discussion. Over here in the comments, LB says, Lindsey, what's in your cup? Listen, I hear you trying to call me out, okay, LB? Listen, I told you I had a little extra ingredient, okay, a little bit of rum in my lemonade. Um, but there's just been so much going on lately. I'm just happy and blessed to be alive and excited. So, I'm finding joy in all of the things. Speaking of which, I have a question that I have to ask all of my guests, okay? And so I'm all about living your first class life, which you definitely do. And I think that's one of the things that I just love about you, because you are authentically you, and you do unapologetically live your life. And so whenever I talk about first class life, it is all about doing those exact things, walking in your purpose and being authentically you, being boldly you, flaws and all, taking away all of the masks, like wiping them off, shed them away. The
Yes.
masks that we wear, those masks of fear, doubt, shame, guilt, trauma, all of those masks that we put on, like how we were talking about the expectations of other people. Like that's a mask that we put on every day. It's about being intentional about the quality of life you're living, being intentional about creating happiness in every moment that you can. And so, my signature question that I have to ask every single guest on this show is, how do you intentionally create happiness in your life? Which I know we've already kind of talked about a little bit, but specifically.
How do you know what? I communicate. I know that sounds like maybe like anticlimactic, but I communicate when I'm maybe not happy, when I'm less than ideal. And I'm really, like I said, like I'm shedding all of the things that society said. Like I remember, was it this year, or I can't remember if it was this year or last year, but I text my friend and I was like, I don't feel like I'm okay. Like like I didn't realize the pandemic was really getting to me because I thought I was like, I'm good. We have air conditioning, we have food, I live in a nice house. It's all good. People love me. It's fine. But I didn't realize how much of my friends that I missed and that I needed. And I am a social butterfly. I love doing this. I love talking to you. I'm having such a great time. And I have to remember the things that spark joy for me. And that
Mm-hmm.
is being able to connect, talking and pouring into people. Um, and I think those are the things, like I communicate with other people and I communicate with myself. Like if I'm feeling less than or if I am happy, I have to document that. Like, why am I so happy? Why do I feel so full right now? It's because I was able to see one of my friends who understands me, who loves to travel as well, and doesn't judge me when I talk about I'm only going to eat prosciutto from Parma. I'm not going to eat prosciutto just because they say it's prosciutto. I'm going to eat prosciutto from Parma. And if it's not imported from Italy, from Parma, I'm not eating it. And like, so she doesn't judge me for things like that. And like, only eating raw honey. And it's just like when you surround yourself with people who love you for you and love those attributes, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's really what helps me to be joyful and remember to be joyful and be grateful. Because sometimes I've seen some of these Facebook groups, these women who talk about their husbands who aren't supportive, and I'm like, the stuff that their husbands say, I'm like, what is wrong with them and what is wrong with you for allowing that? But like, not in a judgy way, just like, girl, you are better than that. You are a woman. You are
Mm-hmm.
the most amazing being on this planet. And whoever it was that got to you before I did, before I could tell you that, F them,
Mm-hmm.
because you have everything you need to be great. And people are always going to try to dim your light because they don't either want you to be better than them or they can't figure out how to do what you want to do or what you're doing. And when I figured that out, it was easy for me to cut people off and shut people out, because I was like, oh, you need to fix yourself before you and I can be friends. I love you, but I'm going to love you from way over there. It's 10,000
Yes.
miles away. I'm okay with
Yes. Absolutely. I always say that sometimes people can only love you or support you for as high as they've taken themselves.
that.
And for
Mhm.
some people, that's not very high. And we have to be mindful of that and be careful that we don't internalize their beliefs
Yeah.
and their sense of worth and all of those things, because it will get projected on you in different ways. And so tell us a little bit about your business. I know we're wrapping it up, but what can people expect whenever they go to makeyourmarkconsulting.com?
They can expect excellence. They can expect excitement. I only work with people who I'm excited about their business, but you have to be just as excited. Um, I love working with people who are making an impact. And if you are in a position where you are looking to grow your business to the next level, like you've been in business, but you're still kind of like, I have a vast vision and grand goals, and I'm trying to like get up there because I've been doing this too long and I'm trying to do what I want, when I want, how I want. Um, and I need somebody to help take me to the next level. That's what I do. I help you build funnels, I help you with ads and your content, as far as, search engine optimization and things like that. So that's what you're going to expect with Make Your Mark, and just a great time. Okay. We have a great time.
Yes, yes, we do. Where can everybody connect with you?
So you can, if you are interested in working with me, you can go to makeyourmarkconsulting.com, or you can find me on Instagram. I hang out on Instagram all the time, and send me a message. I'd love to hear from you.
Yes. So I hope y'all got that. Make sure you connect with the beautiful Ashleigh Chanel. She is your ad strategist and marketing genie. You can go to her website, makeyourmarkconsulting.com. Find her on Instagram at Ashleigh Chanel. Remember, Ashley is spelled ASHLEIGH, Chanel, CHANEL. All right. So, do you have any final words of wisdom or advice for the viewers and listeners here on the Happy Hour Show?
Um, I think really just live as uninhibited as you possibly can and figure out what uninhibited looks like for you. Um, find the job that fulfills you. If you, I mean, because if you love working and if you love what you do and you just don't like where you work, find another place, because our future lives are based on the decisions that we make today. And as difficult and as scary as those decisions might feel, you got to move through the fear anyway. And you have to listen to you and listen to God, not your spouse, not your kids. Because look, it's your path. It wasn't a conference call. So you have to do what's right for you. And I don't believe God is ever going to steer you in the wrong direction. And everybody is going to benefit. Everyone's going to benefit when you're rich. Everyone's going to benefit when you're wealthy, when you start investing, when you start, whenever you are at your best, everyone gets the best of you. And I feel like that is just so important. So you have to do the things that fulfill you.
I love that. When you're at your best, everyone gets the best of you. And that is a great spot to end. So we are unfortunately at the top of the hour. LB, which is Lisa Bailey, she says, great show tonight, ladies. I'm following Ashleigh on IG. Yes, yes, yes. Make sure
Thank you,
you reach
girl.
out and connect. You see her info across the screen right there. Take a screenshot and then also make sure you sign up for updates at bit.ly/happy updates. That's bit.ly/happy updates so that you can stay tuned on all things Happy Hour Show. We are in the last few weeks of season 3, so we'll be through the end of September every Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you're in a different time zone, Google what that time is for you and show up here because this is a conversation between myself, our special guest, and you, all for your personal development. So again, sign up for updates at bit.ly/happy updates. My name is Lindsey Vertner, and I'm honored and blessed to spend this past hour with you on tonight. And with that said, I will see you guys next week for another episode of the Happy Hour Show. Bye.